Hey, how'd my father die?
49 times we fought that beast, your old man and me. We had a chicken head with duck feet, with a woman's face too.
Oh, that's rad.
And it was waiting in the bushes for us. Then it ripped off your dad's face. He was screaming something awful. In fact, there was this huge mess and I had to change the floors.
The floors?
You see his blood had drained into the boards and I had to change them. But we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day. I was waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day. I was waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
Yo, never knew my dad, he didn't care about me. Dead horizon is all my macro binoculars see. Moisture farming all my life and not a drop spilled. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk.
But then a desert hobo came and told me we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day. I was waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day. I was waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Hold me when I open like a flower. Hold me right. Yeah, I ain't had to bake for a girl in a long time. A long time.
I think my cooking's awesome.
I've got her picture in my photo wagon.
I keep it poppin'.
Yeah, she'd probably love to honky tonk.
Probably love to honky tonk.
That's what I said. Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find, but I don't wanna find. Waiting for me around the corner, oh no, no.
Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find anymore.
Crispy bodies by the door. 49 times.
This is Fluxtaposed, episode 273, recorded on August 6, 2019. On to the docket today. Let's go around the web. What you playing, featuring the Train to Busan and the boys. And as always, we're going to close out the show with that sweet, sweet awkward finish. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the show.
All day. I was waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day. I was waiting in the
Welcome back to another episode of Fluxtaposed. I am Jason Lacey, and I am joined by my good friend, my podcast compadre, Lucas Rose.
Podcast Padre?
Si, senor.
I like it. Hello.
Because here in Fluxtaposed, se habla español.
Oui. See.
Not so much. Welcome to the show. I am glad that you are joining us here on another episode of this here podcast. We invite you into our lives. Pull up a chair, grab a drink. It's the Hangout Podcast. That's what we do here on Fluxtaposed. And I hope this show finds you well. We stream live every Tuesday nights, like right now, twitch.tv/Fluxtaposed. Come and join us. Love to have you in the chat to hang out. You won't want to miss it.
It's true.
Join us on Discord, fluxtaposed.com/Discord. Gets you the invite. The community survey's still there. It's doing its thing. It's in the show notes. Click the link, fill it out, do the thing. And if you want to help join amazing people that we call them the Flux Legion over on Patreon. They help make the show do great things. Like one person made an excellent decision, and he joined the Legion. And that person, Mr. Sean Capri.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Legion, Sean. We are happy to have you return. You've returned home, Chewie. We're home. That wasn't a good one. I wasn't feeling that. That wasn't good. But please check out patreon.com/Fluxtaposed. But enough of that junk. This is a podcast. You came here to hopefully be entertained by our voices, by our words, by our phrases. And maybe someday I'm just going to we'll just record all that in a bumper and I don't have to say it every time. But, it's fun to do it live. Lucas, how are you? I'm talking all the time. You haven't been I'm hogging all the airtime.
That's okay. I was trying to figure out why our chat box was just a white square. I'm not sure what happened there.
I see that there.
So I guess I'm just going to disable it so there will be no chat log. But hey, what are you going to do?
It's like the assets decided to just be a white box.
Yeah. I mean, I don't touch these things.
It's because how dare you stream under Heavy Metal Riff Gaming,
right?
And dare toggle back to Fluxtaposed podcasting stuff,
right?
Because that's
probably what it was, honestly.
That's your punishment. Well, how are you, man? Welcome back to another episode of the show.
I'm doing pretty good, surprisingly. Feeling competent, confident. And I must compliment you on your shirt.
My shirt?
Sure, why not?
This Shameless Trek Brewing?
Yeah.
Trailblazer, the pride of Ohio.
It's a beautiful shade of green that brings out the brown in your beard.
I helped them build a patio
red.
by buying this T-shirt. So that's why I'm a trailblazer.
You could have just actually built.
I'm a trailblazer. And one day I'm gonna go down and drink a beer. Drink their beer.
On that patio that you helped build.
You hear that, John Ream? I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna drink your beer.
I would say I helped fund the patio because when you say help build the patio,
okay.
I'm assuming guns are out.
I did not lay brick. I only lay pipe.
Oh, they call me the plumber.
Literally, no, PVC. I like to lay it out and I build stuff with it.
Yeah, me
Fucking
too.
Sickos, God.
Furniture.
I don't know what you're thinking. Lucas, let's address the elephant in the room. That was nice.
Thank you.
Netflixation. Everyone. Yeah, we've been bad about doing Netflixation, picking Netflixation, watching Netflixation for months now. Are we officially saying it's done for now?
Shelving it?
Are we shelving it to hopefully not be forgotten?
Well, let's see what the viewer response is. I put it on the onus is on the viewers, the listeners, the ones who give us their hard-earned money to say, we want Fluxtaposed. We want Fluxtaposed to do Netflixation. You see how I almost screwed that up and then brought it all back around? Maybe
instead of doing it monthly, because sometimes it feels forced, and we I like the community involvement that we always have where we put the poll out there and we let people decide. I like that. I like it gamifies it a little bit,
Yeah.
I like that. And I like, and
who doesn't?
Over the years, it's forced me to watch. I don't want to say forced, but it's enabled me to watch many things I never would have watched before because I just wanted to pick it. It wasn't in my typical wheelhouse. But we are both parents, busy adults. We don't get a lot of time to ourselves. So when we do have the time to ourselves, we want to either play a game or watch something. Sometimes when we have to force ourselves a lot.
Yeah, well, because it's still work. It's not just watching a movie. It's also thinking about what you're seeing. So
So we've just been bad. We bumped it around. We used to do it every episode. We used to do it every show. Then now we can't even commit. We can't even do it monthly.
Yeah, we forget a lot of the
so
time.
another month has come by. We're like, crap. We didn't pick a Netflixation again. Whoops. How do we do that? And here we are. It's like, we got to mix it up somehow. We got to change something. So my thoughts are, what I have more fun doing are the watch alongs.
Yes.
That's kind of my excitement for that has kind of pushed away Netflixation. Now, however, with upcoming releases like Rocco's movie. I would do a Netflixation of that because
Yeah,
it's
I
something
mean,
that, you know.
I'm
So
there.
I mean, there's things like that we could like events, but because I feel like what the purpose of Netflixation is, we want the community or the listeners to kind of rally behind that and want to be a part of that. And I just don't get the impression that it's really that high on the priority poll
Well,
of what we enjoy about Fluxtaposed. Like I don't seem like in a perfect world people would watch it too, and we could have some conversations about it. And it just doesn't always seem the case because everyone else is in a similar situation like us. You know, they don't have that time. They don't want to commit that time to something they may not be completely into as well.
true. True. Well, I
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say on our poll, it scored middling at best. So
So it's not very popular.
yeah,
I mean, I'm. I, let's face it. If we completely stop doing it, it's really not going to affect the show as is because we haven't done it in so long.
well,
So
and we've replaced it with like around the web. We weren't doing that. We weren't focusing on that as much, but now we are. So
now we are. Now we are. So we'll let this
here's
gestate. We'll
here's
let it
I have
ferment.
I have one more thought before we
Oh.
move on. I'm almost wondering if we should bring it back in the fall/winter when it's not summertime and it's harder to have that time outside.
That's a good idea too. I mean,
So
I can
maybe
only think it. Yeah, that's a good idea too. I don't know. Well, we're gonna
things to
figure
think
it
about.
out.
Yeah.
We'll keep talking about this. I think it's not gonna be a reoccurring segment as it once was. At least not as like now. And as Lucas said, maybe we'll revisit it seasonally. I do like that it's there, but I just don't think it's clearly not been a focal point for us. We really haven't put the effort in there for it. So if it's gone, enough about that. Enough about that. Lucas, do you want to hear about my trip?
Sure. Yes, of course.
Everyone, that can only mean yes, it's time for IRL, the segment where we talk about our lives to make you feel better about your own. My friends, listeners, we took our usual trip last week to the scenic northern Michigan, the tip most point, not quite the tipmost point, but way
Just
up there on the lower peninsula of this here fine state, pure Michigan, the land shaped like a hand. Yes, we went there. I'm going into George Lucas, I guess.
Why don't you suck
so
an egg?
so we visited my wife's
Oh.
grandmother, and as my Discord faithful know, the trip didn't start out well at all because my son had been having some fluid in his ears, and then all of a sudden, yep, sure enough, right before this is his mo, right before we go somewhere, he's like, I'm gonna get sick. Yep, he got his first ear infection. We made it like 2.3 years out of his life, and he finally got an ear infection. So I came right from work and drove to my in-laws. My wife had things to do, and then she took him to urgent care so you should get him seen, get him on an antibiotic. She drives up, so we're still going to do the trip. He had like a low-grade fever. Luckily, like Tylenol equivalent would take care of that immediately. So we were able to manage his fever. He was kind of himself, but you could tell he wasn't feeling that great. Well, I think amoxicillin, that was the medication. All of a sudden, though, a couple days later, he's feeling a little bit better. The fever's gone. Full body rash, like this crazy splotchy rash everywhere. I'm like, oh god! And he was like really testy and just not himself and upset. Pretty sure because I have a reaction to penicillin, so I mean I'm sure it's just as common for any kids to have it. But I just figure there's a chance that I have it, then he probably does too. Yep, sure enough, he has he had that too. So he had a reaction to the amoxicillin. I called this wasn't until Saturday we kind of finally realized that's what it was, and I called the on-call staff for his pediatrician's office and kind of explain what's going on because in your head you're like, well, we're just gonna stop giving him the medicine. Well, that's not the case because whether you stop or not, I guess it's gonna the rash is gonna work its way out of his system just as fast.
Mm-hmm.
So and because he was moody, we went to the carnival. Pro parenting tip I've learned for you parents and you prospective parents: you go to a carnival and they have the tickets. Right? You got to buy the tickets to get on the rides. Tickets cost, you can buy 20 tickets for $20, or one at a time for like $1.25 a piece. So that's how they
Ugh.
get you. And then each ride costs multiple tickets, 3, 4, etc.
Tom says tip, don't go to a carnival.
Don't go to the carnival. Being my son is only 2, he can't go on rides by himself. So I'm stuck going on these carny rides with him. So that means double the tickets. So that means you buy $40 worth of tickets, then you go on the rides and they're gone in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
We
Pretty
went on,
much.
like, that beanbag super slide thing, which he loves, and this train thing. He had a great time, but then we ran out of tickets. So pro
Nice.
tip next time, you spend the $20 and get the wristband that lets you go on unlimited. So that's
yeah, you got to.
that's my life hack. So had fun on the carnival, which that was great. But then the next day we were going to take him again, and we got down there early and we were killing time and we had way too much time to kill and he was getting kind of moody, and then it happened. The meltdown of all meltdowns. My wife is my wife. I mess it up every time. Just trying to put like a little tattoo on his hand where you put put it on and use the wet sponge thing and let it sit there. Well, he wasn't having that, and then just everything made him mad, and it went from there. And I had had to like just pick him up, and he's like writhing and kicking and just screaming. So those situations when you're out in public places and you see 2 parents and their kids just making a scene and screaming, and it's horrible, and you think to yourself, glad my kid's not like that.
Yeah,
well,
at that particular moment.
We were those parents that day. It was just the whole way. He didn't let me touch him. He wanted his mom to do everything. He's kicking. His shoe came flying off in an intersection. I had to go back and get it. It was crazy. And
why don't you take care of your kid?
It's just too bad that he wasn't feeling himself, because we want him to enjoy the trip too. And then finally, like towards the end, like Sunday, our last day there, he was normal Aiden. I just want to comment because maybe someone can solve this mystery for me. Northern Michigan's cell phone data, I don't know, man. I get like 3 bars of LTE, 4G for people that aren't out with Verizon. So you would think, sweet, I could have a cell connection for everything. No, it just doesn't work. Like I have the bars, but the data just doesn't flow through. And I tried so many different things like enabling roaming, because maybe it's like detecting I'm in Canada and it's picking up connection from that. So international roaming, all this stuff doesn't make a difference. I'll switch it over to 3G, which in the past has worked. I get 4 bars of 3G. Nothing. It doesn't do anything. It would just randomly work, and then it would just not do anything. So I was hoping to watch some Evo. I couldn't stream anything, so I just read books. I don't understand it. If I have a like really good connection strength, you would think it would work. I don't know why. And then lastly, it's like a 4.5 hour drive home. It took us over 6 hours to get home on Sunday because there's just traffic, and we were stuck in this traffic jam on the highway, and I don't know why. And it was stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. And when you're in a car doing this, like stop and going and stop and going.
Nothing's more frustrating.
I got like motion sickness, so luckily my wife's always prepared, and I had to pop a pill and I was good to go. But man, it's just like,
was it Xanax?
Yeah. Normally you're just usually drained after a trip like that, but man, after that. But here's the thing: even though like the kid was upset, we had some bad times. Like probably the most trying week of us as parents in terms of just dealing with him. I still had a really good time. I'm glad we went. We still had fun. So, it was just tough, but we did it. I'm back.
Good. I'm glad. That sounds like it does sound like a trying time. Why don't you add a second kid who just screams every time the car stops? Doesn't that sound like fun?
No, I don't want a second kid. I'm done with that. No second kids. Deuterino, I did have AC. Luckily, we're not quite as warm up here in Michigan as I think it's in Texas. So
it's true. Although it does get pretty warm and humid. It's not the heat that'll get you; it's the humidity.
Oh gosh, here we go. Sure, that's true. The humidity sucks. So what about you, man?
For me, so here's the thing. Here's my first story. My wife buys a desk for her classroom. The kind
Did you
of
say desk or disc?
Desk. I'm clearly saying desk.
Okay, stop saying that.
A desk. For her classroom, she needs one to put her computer on and other I don't know. Maybe she'll get one of those nice leather bound giant calendars that you put on.
This is the school system in America. Teachers have to furnish their own furniture to use inside
pretty
their own
much.
classrooms.
Pretty much. I don't know if she had to, but she chose to. So probably.
You know, they're not going to pay her back for it or reimburse it or allot it. You know.
Hell no. So, anyways, she buys a desk. Guess what kind of desk she buys?
IKEA.
Close. The kind of desk.
What's that? That it's like Sam's Club but crappier.
Solder.
Big lots.
Big lots. Yes, all of the above. Because she buys the kind of desk that comes in a box, unassembled.
It's my desk in a box.
Oh God.
Ooh, my desk in a box. It's my desk in a box.
Reach in and grab it. So guess who got to put that together?
Isaac.
I wish I should have. Well, no, that would have taken forever. So we go to. So yes. Now here's the thing. It was a used desk that she bought off Craigslist, or Facebook Marketplace. But really, what's the
Might as well
difference?
be Craigslist.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. New in box, never put together or anything. They just, I don't know why so many people just sell things that are in the box, but what's in the box? Well, it was a desk. Here's the thing. I didn't realize this when I was moving it the first time. It was opened and reclosed with just strips of tape that didn't even go all the way around.
It's like Scotch tape strung
It
along.
might as well have been.
Shoddily.
So when I go to move this by myself, I might add, to get it in the car to take to her work, it falls apart. So now I have to load this whole thing in board by board and step by step.
Board by board.
And
Yeah,
step by
baby.
step. Oh, I'm still snapping.
We're both. I'm tired. I've slept like 8 hours combined.
You
the
have
past
an
2
excuse.
nights, so
I'm just
like, I don't know. I'm just feeling good.
This is how I am. Yeah, I was looking good. I was looking forward to tonight's episode, you know? Probably because I have a lot to bitch about. So we get there, and I'm putting this desk together. Now, apparently she bought the most presidential desk ever because this thing has more crown molding than our house does. Like, it has all these individual pieces that you have to screw onto the desk to make it look good. And I'm just like, what's going on? If I didn't have to put all this crap on here, all this decorative, no use whatsoever junk on here that no one's going to see because she's putting it in the back corner,
Right.
I would have had it done. But instead, I had almost everything done except for the drawers. The drawers. Which
Drawers.
we had to bring back in a box so I could put them together here because we had to go. Can you believe it? It's bullshit. I was there
I'm
for
sorry.
2 hours.
It's just I'm disappointed that it wasn't like
Done?
Yeah.
Done well? Well, it wasn't. What pain in the ass. But I do it with love because I love my wife. And let's be honest, she ain't going to put that desk together.
That's what she married you for.
Exactly. To put it together furniture. The only furniture we can afford is the kind that come in a box, and you have to put it together with those little locking flat disc thingies where the peg
Allen
goes
screw thing
in there,
yeah.
and then you just
those things suck when you got the wooden pegs and then the bolts and then you got to turn the thing.
Yeah.
And like
yeah.
close
But
it.
how satisfying is it when they like
There's
suck
like 30
together?
of those that hold my bed together. Thanks, Sweden.
I'd believe it. It's space age technology.
Yeah,
What it is.
True.
Works
Polymers
well.
and stuff.
Polymers, yeah. And then over the weekend, we went to a wedding that I was not in for once. I just got to actually just go and enjoy the wedding. Or
Wow.
I would have.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I did post a picture on Discord.
We saw it.
I wore my James May costume. That was fun. If you don't know who James May is, just type that into Google and you'll find out why I call it that.
Your shirt was like Brad Paisley.
I wish. I'd love Brad Paisley all over me. Actually, he's kind of a normal looking dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
He
I just
looks
want
like
to say
some
because his last name was Paisley.
Paisley, yeah.
And your shirt was kind of Paisley.
Kind of had flowers on it. So
Yeah.
it would have been fun. Yeah. Would have been fun if it wasn't for a few things I'm going to tell you about. First of all,
Was there an open bar?
yes, that was the best part. However, I imbibed 2 drinks. I had a brewski, an all-day IPA, and a Cape Cod, otherwise known as a cranberry and vodka. So, because beer makes me like, especially when you have to eat that heavy wedding food. It's always greasy. Well, not greasy, but oily, I guess.
I don't remember the last time I had something that like wasn't beer. Not counting a shot, but I mean like a mixed
Water?
drink or something. I don't remember. What was the food? Was the spread?
Now, here we go. This is the thing. Now, the food. Tacos. Tacos. How could you go wrong? Except for I do think that serving a taco bar at a wedding where everyone's dressed in their best clothes is kind of some sort of sick joke.
One of my coworkers got married a couple weeks ago, and they had a taco bar.
It's the thing to do. Let's talk about a wedding. Or whatever.
Talk about it.
Now, here's the thing.
Okay. The thing is.
Two options. First of all, corn tortillas.
Okay.
Not everyone's a fan of corn tortillas. I don't mind them. But, flour is usually what most people...
It depends on the item.
Fillings.
I've had a lot of corn tortillas lately.
They do add a certain something where a flour tortilla is very soft and
I
like...
mean, if you got that gluten issue, I mean,
Yeah,
there you can
yeah,
do the corn,
go.
substitute around it. I mean,
It's not a bad...
celiacs, let's be inclusive for other people, Lucas.
Okay. Let's talk about exclusive.
Okay, but do you
inclusivity.
prefer a white flour or a wheat flour?
I don't think I've ever had a wheat flour, Shal.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't tell you, but I probably am used to a white flour.
Why don't you step up your taco game?
I'm about to tell you about how it could be stepped up.
Get on Deadpool's level.
First of all,
Taco Tuesday.
he did. You know what? Deadpool makes a banging taco. I bet. Pork belly, first meat option. Okay, I've never really had pork belly, but I hear it's good.
It's good, but
on a
I have
taco.
reservations.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I get it. They ask, hey, you want some of this pork belly? It was this little sweet old lady. She didn't sound like that at all. And I said, sure, I'll take one pork belly, please. And so I got one taco pork belly. And then the other one was serve your own steak. I don't know why the pork belly was not serve your own, but then I got steak on the other one. How can you go wrong? Steak. No beef option. No hamburger. No traditional.
Carne asada.
No, none of that. No. See, because I like the pulled beef or the pulled pork or the hamburger. I like those. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Mostly because like chicken and slices of meat, they tend to be too chewy for a taco. Not a big fan of like slices of meat.
Yeah, I could see that. Plus, you mean if it's shredded, it takes up the real estate nicely.
Yes, it's stuffable.
Chunks, when you have chunks, it's kind of gonna clump, and you're gonna bite. Especially if you're having crunchy, you're gonna bite into that taco. The shell's gonna splinter everywhere.
Yep.
And then it's just gonna go. It's
Thankfully,
like confetti exploding.
Thankfully, not crunchy. We were good there. But yes, you are right. I don't know if you've ever questioned this. Just put like 3 steaks together and then try to bite into it, and then you'll see what we're talking about.
I'm glad we're doing this because I don't think there's enough taco representation in our social podcast circles. Everyone's talking about video games and how we're outraged about this and that, but here we are. We're discussing tacos and taco real estate.
That's right.
Dude Reno, he says flour is good. I do like corn when I eat chicken and cheese taco.
Ooh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And do you like, sometimes if you get the small tacos and you double them up, to get the double flat. We get like those little round corn ones. You get like the mini tacos.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be considered, like what is it being paired with? You don't just like flour is all encompassing, but corn, you got to think about it.
You know what I would crush right now? A Crunchwrap Supreme.
Ooh.
I'm not even drunk and I would eat that. I mean, it's been like a long time. Remember when we lived together? We got Taco Bell.
A lot. I'm pretty sure that was the only restaurant in Rockford at the time. It seemed like anyway. So anyways, long story short, so we moved down the line. No, like they had sour cream. They had some cheese, which I thought it looked like cauliflower that had been like shredded up because I was like, what is this? But
so was it like blue cheese?
Yeah, it must have been because it was crumbles. And crumbles.
Or good.
And then
goat cheese, but that's
here's another whistleblowing moment. I see this orangey liquid and I think, queso. Let me get some of that for my chips.
Oh, no.
Take a big old scoop on both tacos on my plate for my chippy chips. I'm all about the queso. I want it all. So I go sit down and I try my pork belly taco. Gross. It just tastes, like when you bite into pork that has gristle and fat on it and it gets that really weird pork flavor that's like, oh, that's too much pork. Yuck. That's what it tasted like. I was like,
see,
I can't
pork
eat
belly,
this.
I don't think I would want on a taco, because if
Seems like a
haven't had
sandwich
pork belly that
deal.
often, but like if it's cooked right and done right and it's good quality, like it should like melt in your mouth, like it should just like liquefy.
Yeah.
Fat. There's a lot of fat in there, and
Yeah.
it's really really tender. You don't want gristle on it.
No, I don't know if there was, but it tasted weirdly porky, and I did not like that.
I
So
mean,
I
would
did not
want my
eat it.
pork to taste pork.
Well,
But
there's
not weird pork.
yeah, not yeah. I was gonna say this is
Are you
like
saying-
strong.
You're saying it was weird because it tasted porky, or are you saying it was weird porky?
It was weird porky.
Okay,
I've tasted
now-
pork. I eat pork
Now,
chops. I
see,
eat
now I understand. Now I
Seneca
gotcha.
pork
Gotcha.
loins. But not this. Not this.
People are like, I got Fluxtaposed is dumping Netflixation so they can spend 20 minutes talking
Corn.
about fucking pork.
Now here's the other thing, and then I'll finish it. That thing I thought was salsa con queso was actually sriracha mayo. Sriracha mayo.
That sounds good, but why would you?
It
mayo?
was good, but then I had to dip my chips in it because I didn't have anything else. There was no salsa up there. It was all gone. It was just the water. Pico de gallo.
This is
at the
an
bottom
odd
was just water.
combination of Mexican and continental.
Yes.
I mean,
It was very odd.
mayo.
Why?
Weird mayo goes with like Chinese food.
Yes. Or maybe
Not-
on a burger, like a
but not
$12 burger. I know. Give me the staples. That's what I'm saying. Taco cheese, sour cream, refried beans, and some beef. Where's the beef?
Okay, let's rank the beans here. Where is your preference? You got your refried, your black, or your pinto? You got to marry one, you got to fuck one, you got to kill one.
I'll kill the pinto. I'd marry the refried, and I'd fuck the black beans. Because I fuck with black beans every once in a while.
It's a solid pick.
I knew where to go, man.
I mean, although I feel like you might want to fuck the refried because that's gonna like
The consistency, yeah.
I mean, if depending on the can, I mean, it can go. I mean, it could fuck.
Isn't
you.
it concerning
I mean,
that? Isn't it concerning that it looks like dog food when it comes out?
It
It's
does.
just like
or like cranberry when you get that cranberry
Yes.
sauce. Oh yeah, this might be our best episode ever. I think.
I think it's the best taco segment
I'm
ever.
just talking about how you can get fucked by a can of refried beans. I mean, I think.
Get fucked and fuck.
I think something about the episode title is gonna have to be the beans. I
the
don't know.
beans. Yes.
Oh my god. Magic fruit. I don't know.
My last thing isn't a story. It's just a thing that happened today. My son is officially enrolled in school. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh. We're that's awesome. Yeah.
It is awesome. It asked for 3 preferences, and we were like, well, we really only want him to do this one, or else he's not going. So he's just going down the street. It's Kellogg'sville Early Learning Center, the one that I think I talked about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's not official yet until towards the beginning of the year, but he'll go 2 days after his 4th birthday, and he'll be in
Okay.
school
What's
4 days of the
what's
week.
the schedule? 2 days.
4 days
4
of the
days,
week, full day.
Full day. See, I think we are
Don't-
not going to move forward with Aiden going in the fall because he's never been away from us.
Yeah.
Except, and if he has, he's been with grandparents. So I just don't think, even though it was a couple days a week, but all day, I just don't think he's ready for that. So plus, it's like this school is hella expensive.
Well, I
so
think
he's gonna do like 2. One just found that I think we're going with. It's much more affordable,
Mhm.
and he'll go like 2 days a week, 4 hours a day, like
Yeah.
half days.
we
So-
looked at that for Isaac, but we were too late to do it. But here's like the thing is though, looking back on it, he wasn't ready to go anyway, and now we
Yeah.
know that he is because of the way his demeanor and everything. He's
Good.
ready now. So
I mean, plus the Sunday school stuff has been kind of a good intro to that kind of environment. So
exactly. So it all kind of came together.
there you go.
He's getting so old. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry like a bitch.
So when you gonna take care of the
Snip, snip.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin said he would do it for me because he had it done and he was watching.
I mean, Kevin's an expert. I've heard.
Yeah.
I heard shameless plug PSVG Prime. I heard Kevin was on another podcast, and there's a lot of penis chopping talk on there.
Well, I mean, he said, like I said, he said snip, snip, but for him, it was probably just snip. You know, one snip, two snips. There's not that much there to snip. Come on.
Oh.
I mean,
So
he'll
that's
tell you
enough.
different.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, I've seen.
Yeah. I mean,
Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, you got 3 kids out of it, so I mean,
It's true.
the plumbing works.
I mean,
Not
what is that?
much.
What does that talk look like, right? You look down and you say, "Well, we had some good times," but
I mean, it's not going to get me going like Mariah Carey. I mean,
I know, right?
Or so I'm told. You know, I must say, Josh has had the best DLC stories, bar none.
he's the king.
Between the passing out mid
Yep,
know.
yep.
multiple times and
On the wedding night.
Now the Mariah Carey story, and then the projectile waterfall. I mean,
Yes, in the house that he lives in.
I've not lived, so thank you, Josh. Thank you for sharing with the rest of us simpletons out there.
Yes,
What life is really like.
it's true.
East Coast, man. East Coast life. Look out. You wanna go around the web?
Let's go around.
Because I do, guys. We have an excellent outreach.
Oh God, there was even more. I didn't see this extra.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff people wanted to share and get our take on, our expertly curated touch. Speaking of curation, launched it this morning. Exclusive early access for the Flux Legion. Fluxtaposed Radio, Volume 6, Summer Lovin'. Hit the airwaves. Make sure you add that Patreon RSS feed. Get that in your ears. We got, 90 minutes of summertime fun in audio format. Don't worry, the number of listeners. Don't worry. We didn't forget about you. Next week, it hits the feed for you as well.
It does.
Hope you enjoy it. Where do we want to start here, Lucas? Where do we want to start?
I want to.
First of all, I think we have to feature. We got to feature one that was missed before. I think. Well, actually, I want to make sure we get Grouchies because we haven't. Callow, Dan, I love you guys, and you're always bringing us great stuff. But I want to make sure someone else gets their opinion heard on the show. Grouchy Surge. He's always hanging out with us in Discord. He said this on Twitter of all things. This comes from NBC News. So I mean,
act like no one talks about it.
We're going mainstream here, and it's like it's good for us because it's parenting related. Headline reads: Mom arrested for driving with kids on top of SUV in an inflatable pool.
Oh my God!
Mother told police her daughters rode inside of the empty pool to hold it down.
I'm sorry, I just hit my mic because that's the stupidest thing. What can I put in this pool to hold it down?
I mean,
kids.
Wouldn't you? I mean, why don't you just deflate it? It's inflatable. I mean,
that's a good point. That wasn't even the first thing I thought either.
And I mean, she's driving an Audi too. So I mean, they're people of some.
Well, clearly that doesn't mean
privilege,
anything.
Some privilege, I guess I'll say, but I mean, couldn't you just rope it? You use a rope, you could bungee. I mean, there's many options.
Oh, there's a picture of this woman. She,
I guess, was she from Florida or Alabama? Well, Deuterino, let's see. Let's get into it. A mother was arrested for having her 2 daughters ride in an inflatable pool on top of her car. A concerned citizen called police on Tuesday after seeing children on top of a moving vehicle in Dixon. Drumroll, please. Illinois. I'm sorry. Florida is not the winner tonight. She's from Illinois. And officers conducted a traffic stop to speak to the driver who was driving a white Audi Q5. Jennifer A. Janice Yeager, however you say it.
She was
49, was arrested on 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child and 2 counts of reckless conduct. During the course of the investigation, it was learned that Yeager drove into town to inflate the pool at her friend's house and had her 2 juvenile daughters ride inside of the empty pool. So she drove to town to inflate it, and then they drove back to their house to use it. So they took it somewhere where either they could get access to an air compressor, this, that. But I mean, you could have just blown it up at home. It would have taken a while.
You could have just bought a bicycle pump.
That too. My gosh.
Take those kids away.
Police later tweeted an image of the SUV at the pool. Having your children sit in an inflatable pool on top of your car while driving will get you arrested. So
There's nothing even to hold on to at that point. You're just.
I mean, how slow was she? Must have been. I hope she was driving slow.
I want to know how fast. Yeah, and also like,
what's the thought process where you're like, we got to get this shitty pool home now. Hey, Lisa, Rebecca, I need you to climb up top. Hold on to your sister. I'm going to drive slow. And if you fall off, tuck and roll.
they were laughing about it. They're all like, we've got white privilege. They'll never pull us over. We're just trying to get our pool home.
Yeah, laughing about it like that girl that crossed the road near your house.
Yeah, and got smashed. Yeah, it was real funny up until that point.
And not in the video game.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Wasted.
Why endanger a life? Your children's lives.
Your children's lives.
You
I
dummy. I hate
don't know.
you.
Grouchy, thanks for sharing. Lucas,
Yeah.
have your pick. We've got a suggestion from Callow about Walmart woman urinating on potatoes.
Yeah. I do like the URL that says she urinates potatoes. That's pretty fun.
I believe Skinny Matt sent the one about 60 days in jail served on a weekend.
I want to get to that one. Yeah, there's a lot here. Let's
let's do those two, I think. And I know I think you curated the next two.
Yeah, and that one's I mean, that's fine. One of them
That's
isn't
fine.
even
That's not topical at all.
No.
All right, so let's piss on some potatoes.
Okay. I mean, I always
pissed
do.
on your potatoes this morning. You're
Ooh,
really
that's
upset.
a good. Let's get
Ooh.
that started. Jeez, what
Got
somebody
some
piss on your
autoplay
potatoes?
video, my favorite type.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Is it gonna go?
I paused it.
Oh, good call. This is coming from CBS 2 Pittsburgh police chief. Woman accused of urinating on potatoes in Walmart facing charges after turning herself in.
Why?
Well, she did the responsible thing. This comes from West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Police say the woman accused in a
Dunder
bizarre and disgusting act at the borough's Walmart has turned herself in. Borough police say the woman showed up with her attorney at the police station Tuesday afternoon after a surveillance image of her was released on their website. The incident happened last Thursday in the early morning. An employee witnessed the incident and called police right away.
Yeah, there's someone peeing all over the potatoes.
Wait. Peeing? Like, ma'am, did you say urinating?
I'm confused. Is she urinating potatoes or is she urinating on the potatoes?
Ooh.
Both?
I would, yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think she knows what brining means. Like, that's not how you do that.
according to police, the woman is accused of urinating on a bin of potatoes after entering the store. She left soon after. Police identified that woman as Grace Brown. She's now being charged with criminal mischief, open lewdness, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. She is awaiting a preliminary hearing. So I guess she was like wasted out of her mind and decided that's where she was going to piss.
Listen. Well, if I wandered drunk into a Walmart, I'd be confused as to what the bathroom
you're
was.
absolutely right. You cannot have a normal day when you work at Walmart because in this country, you either get pissed on if you're a stack of potatoes or you witness a mass shooting. That's what happens at Walmart.
It's true.
That's all your norm. This is what the days we live in. This is our society.
I mean, I'll take pea potatoes over people getting shot.
Yes,
so.
please. Brown has faced alcohol-related charges in the past, including drunk driving by a minor. When customers heard the news about Brown's alleged act, they couldn't believe it. That's really gross. It's like gross. Why do it? She must be ill or something. Customer Ty Ridwan. That's
Tyvid Bond.
Ty
I don't want to
Ridwan.
make any. I don't want to make any conclusions.
Let's
here.
not do that.
Insensitive.
Let's not have an episode where then I go.
Insensitive.
Lucas, can you scrub that audio out at
Boy,
35,
Lucas.
46? I think I said something I should.
I've been thinking about this thing I said, and I would sure love it if you deleted that. Yeah, that may have happened.
Katie McGinley had the riveting comment of,
Oh, I'm Katie McGinley. There, see, now it's okay.
she might need some help in some way. Let's also note that the potatoes, the bin was at ground level.
That makes it less impressive. I would have been
Dude
more
has
impressed.
Excellent callback. Or see a gang made of a mom, a child, and a dog rob the store.
Yes.
Excellent
the dog
callback,
robbing the
my
store.
friend. Excellent callback. And to finish our journey
Yes.
through the mysteries that is the internet.
Yes. More autoplay.
More autoplay. YourCentralValley.com. Man sentence Oh, another autoplay. Thank you. Man sentenced to just 60 days in jail, served on weekends. So
That's
only
how jail
60
works.
days. So we were only looking at not just over 2 months of jail time, uh, only on weekends. So I mean, total. I mean, he's going to be serving this for a while.
Judge, I have a question. I know you want me to go to jail, but can I just do it on the weekends? My weekdays are pretty
I mean,
busy.
that's going to take him like what, just over a year to do. 26 weeks in a year, 2 weekends, 2 days on
Yeah,
a weekend.
you're
So
right.
that's 52.
Jesus.
So I mean, wow.
I don't think he thought that out.
I don't know, but why? Because he was repeatedly poisoning his wife's coffee. Guess what? Guess the state. Guess the state. That's how we should do this now. We should say guess this. We should guess the state before we get into it.
That's true.
Lucas, do you already know?
I already know. So
Okay. Deuterino, do you want to guess the state? I'll
guess
skip
that
over
state.
it and then we'll see. A interstate
Blank man.
here man has been sentenced to 60 weekends in jail after his wife installed hidden cameras in her kitchen and caught him deliberately poisoning her coffee. July 2018, a woman told officials she was feeling tired and nauseous and experienced blurred vision after
I'm
drinking coffee on the
nauseous.
days her husband, Brian Kozlowski, prepared it for her. She said she almost fell asleep while driving on I-375 one day. Deuterino guess Florida? No, it's actually Michigan.
Oh,
That's right. The home of Fluxtaposed itself. We get crazies in here too.
That's right.
The woman had filed for She filed for divorce in May of that year. So in May she
So you
filed
know
for
he's like,
divorce, and then July he's
"Bitch.
like, I'm not gonna get divorced. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm taking
mean,
the kids.
We think about this every time we watch Dateline because it's always the husband that does it. But I mean, what is the motivation here? You're not going to get away with it. Nobody does. Well,
No.
OJ Simpson, I think.
One guy did.
Nobody does. I mean, you always get caught. It's always the husband. They always know it's you. You're always the prime suspect. But like, I can't get divorced. I'll bring shame on my family. Oh God have disowned me. My Christian values. I can't get divorced. I kind of went Southern, and then I kind of went Butters.
Southwark. Yeah,
So I mean,
Southwark.
this is how you save. This is how you save face. By trying to kill her. You know,
It makes sense. I mean, it's an A to B thing. You know, wife files for divorce. You kill her.
I'm gonna kill her. You will murder her. She became suspicious and installed cameras in the kitchen after the July incident. So after she felt sick, she's like, "I'm gonna put cameras in here." Which, I mean, good on her for getting those installed and him not even noticing. Like, I have like the dad man in the house powers. Like,
Yeah.
there's a speck out of place. I'm like, what? What's that doing there? Where'd this come from? Is that a water spot? Is that
Yeah.
a leak over there? Is this cracking?
Who
Is this
moved
in
my
good
coffee
fix?
jar?
Who touched the thermostat? Did you touch the thermostat? You know, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So she caught him repeatedly pouring diphenhydramine. Tom Servo, what is that?
I'm gonna call that a win for you.
Tell me, Tom Servo.
Diphenhydramine.
Diphenhydramine into her coffee on multiple occasions, intentionally poisoning her. I felt a horrible coldness in the air, but in this nightmare, the predator was Brian. She said in court, I fell to my knees and cried. I could barely move. A woman said that she called her divorce attorney and moved out of the home. The last coffee Kozlowski made her contained 127 milliliters, experts said, comparable to 8 sleeping pills.
Diphenhydramine is an antihistamine, so you take it for allergies, but it would make you
Oh.
sleepy if you took too much.
Okay. Poisoning someone only gets you 2 months of jail time that you can serve in the weekend. We've got a good justice system. Yes. What I've learned from the justice system, dude, Reno, I did a lot of Netflix research. So I'm kind of an expert now on the judicial system here. I've watched a lot of crime documentaries or what have you. If I ever get like accused of something, I'm fucked because I can't pay. I'm not gonna be able to pay for a lawyer. So I'm gonna be guilty. So if like Jess fell down the stairs and like died,
Twice.
I'm gonna go to jail, and they're gonna say I did it because I'm not gonna be able to. You know?
Fuck it, I did it. It's cheaper this way. You know, they call it the justice system. I think we should start calling it the injustice system. Am I
What
right,
was
guys?
that? You remember the? You ever watch some of Dana Carvey's old stand-up? So the
No.
thing about the judicial system is you sound like you're drunk when you're saying it. You're just like you're a crazy man. It's not me. It's the judicial system.
Judicial system.
The judicial system. Yeah. So
love
that's
it.
how we play around the web. Thank you for journeying with this. Man, I need to sleep. I'm slurring. I'm falling apart.
You sound like you're drunk.
I'm falling apart, guys. Thank you for taking the journey with us.
Ow.
We always like to use Discord drop us a link there if you have some wacky headline you'd like us to read, share. And then if we actually feel like doing work ourselves, Lucas and I will gather headlines. Not always wacky news. Sometimes we think, hey, this is cool. I want to share it with you. Like the heartbeat thing, laser thing that the Pentagon uses. Detect your heartbeat and identify
That
it.
was cool.
That stuff. Lucas,
Yeah.
are you ready for some What You Plan? Oh man, it just kept going. I just didn't want to stop.
The Genesis had the most amazing drums and guitar sounds.
It gets to like that guitar-y synthy.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know why, but that sounds like something Big Boss Man would come out to when he was wrestling or something. You know what I mean? You can kick some ass.
I'm Big Boss.
Oh God, Snake.
David Hayter. Did you see that there was some disruption at Evo because apparently like they played this trailer like during I don't remember what game it was even through. It was something, a Bandai Namco game or something, and they used like clips from Metal Gear, and then like afterwards he tweeted, he's like, you don't use my voice or my work to promote your stuff without asking me. Like it wasn't, none of the parties that owned that, it was just a bad
Were
joke
even
on, but
involved?
I just loved like David Hayter, like seeing his face pop up on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, get him, Snake.
Yo, Snake, sneak that shit.
That's what we need to do. We need to set a Patreon tier that if we get like, I don't know how much it'll cost, we'll have him do what is that app called where you Cameo? We'll get a Cameo bumper from David Hayter. Oh my God.
I like it.
How
I think that's
love
great.
Bloom on a battlefield. It'd be amazing. I don't like the suit.
Ugh, can I take off the suit? Yeah, but it's pretty fucking cool though. Yeah.
Metal
What
Gear
were we
Awesome.
doing?
Lucas, tell me about the stuff you played and watched.
Okay.
because
Okay. I have a few
Save-
things.
Save me from myself.
I will. You can't even save yourself. Or I can't
Stabbing
even
westward?
save it. Yes. You knew. You knew. Let's start with Arizona Sunshine. I talked about this game before. It's a VR game. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's virtual reality.
Palmer, Lucky Palmer makes that.
That's right. He made the virtual reality, and I put it on my face, and I played a game. And I decided that I would stream this on our Twitch. What we're
I hope
streaming
it was
on
the
right
stream
now.
where people see just the two little
Googly
circles
eyes?
of your vision.
Oh, it is. No,
Oh.
actually, no, it's not, because the game was rendered in the window as normal. But you still see my head movement. You can see my hands. You can see how I'm shooting the guns. And Tom Servo joined me. He was like, "Oh, I better see how," because I put a message
He's like,
in the
this guy's
Discord.
gonna make an idiot of himself. I gotta watch it.
Let's see this. This could be shitty. So now here's the thing. I didn't check my streaming settings, and it affected my VR stream pretty badly. It was very laggy. I also hadn't restarted my computer in like 2 days, so that's probably part of it as well. But it was a bit choppy. But yeah, I didn't.
Too many teraflops of data being pushed
It
out
is.
on the P's and the K's.
It's true. Well, if you think about it, it's an image that's being rendered in two slightly different ways. So it's rendering the same image twice. So that's pretty tough. It's pretty tough even for the best systems. So I didn't mean to play as much of this as I did, but then I got to the level called Arizona Sunshine or whatever, and I was like, okay, well, this is almost done then. I gotta see it through. Gotta push on
I
through
feel
to the
like
other side.
this is a mashup between Little Miss Sunshine and the Arizona Diamondbacks or something. Whatever
Raising
that
Arizona. No, I can't say that it is, but you do get to shoot zombies, so you would like it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I beat it. Yeah, I beat it. And
How
Tom,
does it handle movement?
well, they just implemented. I don't know how long this has been like this, but they do allow you to teleport, and I used it that way for a long time because I didn't know that you can actually switch it to just regular. You press forward to move, which I did switch to, and I like that a lot better. Biakuaz, when you're doing that, Tom had said that it wasn't very John Wick like, because I would stop and only use one hand because I didn't want to use all my ammo. And let's face it, actual dual wielding, unless you're practiced in it, even then it's very difficult, and you end up using more bullets than you probably would if you just shot and took your time. But it doesn't look cool, and it probably didn't make for a very good stream. So I was
I
like,
wanted you to be like, poo, poo, poo.
well, I did. Yeah. After a while, I started to do my best at gun fu. And I will say, I did have my camera so you could see how stupid I looked.
Yeah.
So I started like using the free move to like run up to zombies and shoot them while I was continuing on. So
you just like run
I
right
tried
up to
to-
it and like put the gun right in their face.
Yes, I did do that a couple times. There's one where I just like shot them through the chin on one
Does it
guy.
like does it have accurate bullet tracking? Like, does it know how you angle the gun and then like the
Yes,
bullet
yes.
trace that
I
way?
don't-
So like,
I don't know about like the bullet. It knows how you angle the gun because I know like even the smallest amount of
because
change.
I want like the physics engine where like you could like put it underneath that zombie's chin and the bullet
It'll, like,
literally,
pop up.
either takes off like the top or comes off the top of the head like that. I mean, that'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
that it's not quite that advanced, but that would
do
be
you
cool.
do you get VR sickness at all from
No.
free motion like that? It doesn't bother you?
The only thing that it does is I think this happens for everybody is it tricks you into like feeling like you're moving, so you have a tendency to overcompensate with your body by like leaning forward when you stop or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a couple times where I was like kind of rocking back
I just
and
remember
forth.
that Skyrim. Of course, that
Yeah.
wasn't officially supported, so it was
That's
kind
true.
of shoddily like in its motion. But I just remember how I felt playing that. And I was like, oh god,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I mean, I probably played for 2 hours. That's a long
Wow.
time to be in VR.
Damn.
Or at least it felt like 2 hours. Maybe it was only 1.5.
I mean,
don't know.
that's the longest you've been in VR since that
Since I got it.
Pornhub app came out.
Well, I mean, if you count that amount of time, I've probably been in that more than I have real life, but
You're quite the gunter.
awkward. So yeah, I beat it. It was fun. There's a Dead Man DLC that I guess I got for free. I don't know. So that's
cool.
another part of the game that I'll probably go into, and maybe I'll stream that too. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know. I also watched a movie called Good Time. And this was really good, actually. It was a good time to watch. It was kind of an interesting story. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it, and it just came out not that long ago. But it does have Robert Pattinson in it, and he did a great job in
Batman.
the movie. Well, Batman now. I mean, after seeing him in this, I could actually... Not that he acts like Batman in this, but he doesn't have an accent or anything, so he just sounds like an American dude.
I wasn't familiar with this, but then when I looked up the pictures of it, because I remember seeing like the images of him being all crazy and like that
Yeah.
hairstyle, everything he has.
Yeah, he
going
has
on
like
there.
blonde
Yeah.
hair. Yeah, there's a story reason for that. But yeah, it was one of those stories where you're like, where's this going? I kind of want to see how this ends because this is really messed up. And it was really good. I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5, maybe a 4 out of 5. I don't know. I liked it a lot.
If you had to throw it into a genre, like what kind would you say?
Crime. Not really a thriller, like a crime drama. No, not really
Okay.
a drama. I don't know. Crime. There's definitely crime involved.
Kind of like cerebral a little bit, like.
Yeah, a little. Well, that's tough. It's not really cerebral in the sense that it's going to psychologically mess with you or anything.
Okay.
But it's a smart movie. I mean,
Huh.
it is interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that who?
A caper.
Who-
It's a comedy caper. No, it's a crime caper, I guess.
Okay. I wanna see it.
It's a very realistic portrayal
I mean,
of something.
it's A24. I gotta watch it.
I mean, they're killing it.
I've yet to see a movie that they're involved with that I don't like.
Mm.
I mean,
I think they did
Come on.
Mandy, so
every time I see that GIF of Swiss Army Man and
it brings
the
joy
farting
to your
and the
heart.
fly, oh my god, it just makes me smile. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah, good time. You should watch it. It is a good time. And
You
also
real- I'm
Swiss
just
Army.
taking
No,
over
no,
and
it's okay.
derailing
I
you
just
left and right tonight.
I saw the time and I'm like, I can't. I have 4 items. You have 3, so I can't be the guy who drags us down. Another really good movie I watched was Blind Spotting.
That's like the sequel to Train Spotting.
No, no, that's Train. I know it's confusing. It seems like it would
Oh.
be, but I think that's just Train Spotting too. Yes, there is a reason why it's called Blind Spotting because I thought that was.
Is
I
it
was
a horror movie involving old people?
no.
I guess that'd be called like Sundowning or something.
Oh. I thought this was a funny movie, but it was also pretty thought-provoking, actually. I also don't want to get into it too much, but basically it's about a black guy and a white guy. They work as movers, and they both have a history. And being a black man in America kind of is the background of this movie. For instance, he sees a black guy get shot by the police right in front of him, and that affects him for the rest of the movie. And he just got out of jail, or no, he's on probation for the last 3 days of this movie. And he's trying not to fuck up, basically, because what he went to jail for was his own stupidity, and he knows that. And it was just kind of like I don't need to do that again. Let's just get it over with so I can move on in my life. But then this happens, and he can't get it out of his head. And then the way his white friend acts kind of makes him feel like,
if the white friend was a redhead and had kind of a light beard, he kind of looked like Kevin Austin.
Kevin, yeah, a little bit. I could see that. But yeah,
how are you watching these?
Netflix DVD. Yeah, actually, no. Blind Spotting I got from the library.
I got this out of the Criterion Collection.
Yeah, God, I don't want to pay $30 to $40 per movie. It's not old enough to do that, to be there anyway. Blind Spotting was at the library, so you should go check it out and quit doing whatever the hell you're doing. You look like Conan O'Brien doing the string dance. But you've got no strings.
He makes money. I don't do that.
No strings. No strings to hold you down.
You're not James Spader.
No.
You can't do it.
James Spanner. But yeah, the climax. Let's talk about the climax of this movie. It's a little bit strange. Now, there is a setup in the movie. If you're paying attention, it makes sense. But it's probably the most movie-esque thing of this movie. It feels set up to be that way, but once I kind of got used to it and I thought back on it and remembered who this character was, it didn't seem as out of the blue as I took it to be. So take that for what you will. 4 out of 5 again. And then lastly, I watched Train to Busan.
Can you give me that 4 out of 5 again, but then do it in the more Adam Sessler?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a 4. Out of 5.
Perfect.
On Arena. Train to Busan. Now, this is, last I knew it was streaming, but I did watch the DVD because I'm an asshole who likes...
I watched it on Netflix when I watched it.
Yeah, you did, bitch. I got it from Netflix DVD, so there you go. Train to Busan. Zombie movie.
Yeah.
I bet you can guess there's a train in it, and it goes to Busan.
Yeah.
Korean movie? South Korean? I don't know. Whatever is the good Korean. I'm just kidding. They're all good. Stylistic take on zombies. They're very like 28 Days Later, but they also like freak out, man. They're just like
kind of like mixed with Daisy, World War Z.
Yeah,
where they just pile onto each other and climb up each other.
Yeah, think of like
almost like a hive mind.
Yeah, they have this like crazy lust to just get after you. As soon as they see you, they're booking it right to you, and not, this is the opposite of The Walking Dead. These things they're running straight for you. Cinematography wise, also not groundbreaking, but as far as zombie movies go, like if you just look at that genre, it's done pretty well. Very action heavy, but also there's a lot to look at here. They use camera angles and they set up shots in very interesting ways that almost feel like a comic book at times. So it's really interesting to look at. It's not just like, here's another dark warehouse. That's the other thing. This is a really colorful movie too, which was a nice change from most of the zombie movies that you see. Usually it's like brown and gray and rust colored, and this was not. One thing that made this movie something that I really enjoyed was that the group of characters that this story follows in this train, while their backstories and everything are pretty simple, they're surprisingly effective because they're not just like tropes, but they also
are like important. They're like down to earth archetypes. Yeah,
they're down to earth, and they're simple in a good way. You understand who these characters are. For instance, the pregnant couple, the young lovers, the daddy and the daughter. The daddy and the daughter are the most complex, the ones that you
Yeah.
see the most of. But all the other ones you kind of care about to a certain degree. At least, again, for a zombie movie, you do.
And how it kind of unravels that family dynamic through the story too, with
Yes.
the mother and everything.
In the beginning, oh gosh, it was so sad.
I think
in the
it's
present,
important for you to know that there is a Train to Busan 2
it's not going to be as good.
on track for a 2020 release date.
You can't go to Busan again. You can't go to. You can't. How does that work?
Yeon Sang-ho will return to direct and pen the script, with the follow-up being larger in scope than the relatively confined original.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'll chronicle. Well, it can't because how long ago was this? 2016. I guess maybe it could chronicle
Yeah.
once they got there.
Gosh, this is like just recently, like the past couple weeks, that this has gotten announced that there's going to be this sequel. Wow.
Topical.
Look at this, topical, baby. We got this.
I will say this. I'm not gonna. This might spoil it, but I cried. I blubbered I blubbered way more than I had any right to cry about a movie in the zombie genre. Like I was like, he just loves his daughter so much. You know, like it was bad. Like almost like pressure up in the nose and the sinuses. I'm just, not just a little, you know,
discussion.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was good. I cry at everything. I have kids
You do.
now, so I have to cry at everything.
It happens.
That's the end. That's everything.
That's the end. All right. Well, for myself, let's get a quick library update. I got 3 things on hold. One's a book that I was recommended to me, but more importantly, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I am now number 1 in the queue.
Number 1.
So I am next to finally get that game. Maybe I can play it with you if you're not done with it or sick of it by then.
I haven't had anyone to play it with, so we can play.
Didn't call that, did I?
No.
There's 33 holds currently in place for it. So,
jeez, that's popular.
I'll have to make the most of those weeks. And it looks like all of a sudden the artwork for Fire Emblem 3 Houses is on the website. So that is out now as well. It looks like there's 25 holds. And oddly enough, I am second in the queue.
Are you fucking kidding me? I am on there too.
You know what that means? That means, though, that I didn't get one of those initial copies.
That's
like
true.
10. So that means
you were like the
technically
35th person to think of, like, oh, wait, I should put this on hold.
Right.
I'm
got
checking
a hold
to
for
see.
Luigi's Mansion. Part of me is like, do I put a hold for Astral Chain?
I did. I have 3 houses and Astral off the chain.
So there you go. There's that. But for myself, I haven't played anything lately. I did play a little Smash Bros. Today before the show just because I had time, but I haven't played games. I haven't felt like playing games. So I've been reading mostly, except for one thing I'm excited to talk to you about. First thing I picked up after I finished Zone 1 was this book that I thought was going to be my trip book. It's called A Monster Calls. It's been on my Goodreads list forever. I think the whole reason I discovered it was just through, generic lists on there. Because I heard it was like I was looking for like good horror stories. Well, it turns out this is a young adult novel. So some people are going to be turned off by that in the first place.
I find them easy to read in a good way.
Easy to read, and it was short. It was only like 125 pages. And this is, it chronicles this boy dealing with his mother having cancer. Essentially, he's 13, and the monster was called for a purpose. But what is that purpose? And and what's the story? It's really very emotional, as you can imagine, based on the subject matter. And like all the reviews I read, people really talked really great about it. And it's written by the author that originally came with the idea and started the book. Died before the book can be written, so another author actually took it and wrote it in her memory. Essentially, It was really good though. I liked it. And then I was like, I just wanted to keep reading, but I couldn't find anything. I couldn't any book I wanted to get. Like, here's what I don't get: Cloud Library is the thing, but the library has limited copies of digital.
Yeah, I don't
books.
understand how that works either.
So, like, I wanted to read Snow Crash, which has been like it's you might have read about it in the book.
It's
that you're reading right
it's
now.
a sci-fi
referenced.
book that people are often quoting as like the thing that got me into sci-fi or whatever.
It's like what really originated the concept of virtual reality and this whole like this experience that we could go to, like you see in Ready Player One, etc. but it would take like 40 days before I could get it. I was like, oh my gosh. So
40.
I ended up signing up for a free 3-month trial to Kindle Unlimited.
Oh.
And I think actually this book was available on Prime Reading as well, but it's called Bitter Brew: The Rise and Fall of Anheuser-Busch and America's King of Beer. So kind of interesting. So I'm reading about right now the history of Anheuser-Busch. I'm like 15-20% through it. I think we're probably like up in like the 60s time period. So, it talks about how the company was started and the first, members
When
of
was
the
it
Bush
started?
family.
20s?
No, earlier. I think earlier
1800s?
in that. I think like around the 1800s or so, and like how the Bush family got like where does the Anheuser come in? Where they got the recipe for Budweiser and all this stuff, and it actually like
90% water.
it's just really interesting in how the decisions are made, and what happened. I'm going to be interested to read what happens to like cause the company to fall apart and as we knew it. And it really, it got me. I got a little patriotism about it, and I got kind of like sentimental for what that product used to be. I mean, you can say what you want about Yellow Fizz, but I mean, it was an American. I mean, for buying a German recipe, but I mean, it was a American brand for and with such history. So lo and behold, I opened the fridge, and there was a Bush. So I had myself a Bush Heavy.
Did you
in
cry?
memory of this book. So I'm really
This
enjoying
is
it so
for
far. I think
you, America.
it's well written, and I'm really enjoying the story right now. I think right now it mainly deals with his nickname. He's Augustus Bush. What I can't remember the.
Of course, it's
third or second.
Augustus.
Goes by the name Gussie, and he ran the company. He like was responsible for really helping modernize it and really pushing it forward. And I think he was like president until he was like in his 70s before he was finally willing to step down. And then his son,
They made me step down.
Came in, but he was like obsessed with beating like Pabst and Schlitz were like their top competition. He was just so like laser focused.
It was all those
surpassing them.
factory worker beers, all the cheap stuff that you can have like 5 of them before you go home, and
right.
your wife doesn't even know that you're schlitzed.
Right. And what's interesting about the Bush, this book, not just the company, but how the Bush family lived, because it's, the typical story of like the wealthy in that time period. I mean, they didn't have income tax back then. So they're just like rolling
insane.
In it. They just live this lavish lifestyle of like royalty and luxury,
And
so
how many schools did they build with that money?
They're busy building Bush gardens and stuff with all the animals and stuff.
Now that's a garden of just Bush fountains, right? Just coming through, and
it's like Willy Wonka but beer. You like Pawtucket Pat,
How many people have fallen in the Bush
bushes of love?
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh. So, but it's good. I'm looking to get through that, and I have a book called The Wanderers that someone I follow on Twitter had like this glowing review that really captured me, like making callbacks to like The Stand and other similar books. So I was like, oh, I really want to read that. So that's like I'm second in the queue, so I'm going to have that in like a matter of weeks.
Dang, girl.
So I got to get through this. And my feature piece, it's a new Prime original that was been advertised forever and finally came out. That is The Boys, which you're not. I don't know if you're familiar with.
I am. I saw the preview for this, and it looked good.
Cigar Zombie. Bush Love does sound dirty. It is dirty.
It is dirty.
Yeah, it looks good, and it's essentially it's a comic. I don't know if it was just if it was a series or if it was a limited series. Josh knows much more about this than I do.
He knows a lot about it.
You can get a lot of that on Prime Reading as well. That
for free
is available. Yeah.
Dang.
So if you want to check it out, but to give you the quick and dirty, The Boys. It's like a more adult turn twist of superheroes and what the like consequences they might face, and
it seems to have a lot of
their motivations and or like their kind of like the DC stance. They're gods on Earth. What are there any repercussions? Is there anything that holds them back, and what can we do as normal people against them? I will have to say, like, they kind of hit the main character archetypes from heroes. We got Homelander, which is like a cross between Captain America and Superman. He's the god of these heroes. He can, he's basically.
He reminded me of the guy from Mystery Men, the main guy that everyone looked up to.
Oh gosh, yeah, Captain
Pepsi Man, because he had like all
Yeah.
the. Shit
But here's the
on him.
thing: he looks like. I feel like that actor. I don't know if he's been anything else. I feel like visually when you look at him and everything is like, well, we can't get Michael Fassbender, so this guy's gonna have to do. I mean, because he looks like Fassbender a little bit. I think. There's
I'm
another
looking him
character
up.
called the Deep, who's like Aquaman, essentially. But they kind of. I don't want to give away too much, but let's just say like an innocent person is killed by one of these heroes, and that's what kind of there's this motivation of, this can't. There's no justice. We need to, kind of take it upon ourselves to get that. And then
Ooh.
also, I mean, it deals with, like I've only watched 2 episodes because I downloaded them on my tablet before I left so I could watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I was able to view these while I was gone without internet. But there's it touches there's I mean a lot of debauchery is what it played up. I mean, just that title, the boys, the boys club,
Right.
that's what you kind of get.
Hanging
And
with the
so,
boys.
Of course, there's going to touch on there's sex and there's
I was gonna say
rape,
femininity
there's
and all that stuff.
all this stuff in there, and then it's I don't know, it's really interesting. So you kind of see the I can't remember the name of their super team, but there's like seven heroes that comprise this core unit. And the interesting twist I like about this is there is a business that organizes and runs them.
Do they
And,
have like a
cities-
PR team and everything?
Yeah. Yes. There's a PR team, and there's this whole hierarchy in it. And like if a city has a problem, they have to pay to have this hero locate that as their new home city of
Is
operations.
there an app involved with it? Because it certainly sounds.
I don't
Pay
know, but that's the
$50
whole side
and
of
have.
the whole business, like a business and like a problem that's going on in the series is they're trying to push this legislator and get the United States government to privatize the military and get the guys, they call them suits. I don't remember if they call them soups or suits. I can't quite remember. And get them involved in military operations. And so then, all of a sudden privatize the military and all this. And that's like this big part of it. But I don't know, man. I didn't expect, I kind of expected to like it, but I didn't know, like, okay, if it's going to be like debaucherous and kind of getting down that right, am I going to enjoy that? But after like the first episode, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to keep going. And then after the second episode, I really liked it. And I saw on Twitter, like, I think Seth Rogen had quote tweeted it, and he's like, "Well, now I'm watching it." That's why Seth Rogen.
We can't do it.
Talking about how like the horrible 1-star Amazon reviews when people are like, "This is attacking Christian values, and it's making fun. It's saying how America and Christians are evil."
Christians are under attack right now. It's a bad time to be a Christian. There's so few of them left.
So, I don't know, man. It looks. I think you would like it. I know some other people, content creators, have jumped in and have enjoyed it as well. I'm really liking it, and now talking about it, I was like, shit, I need to watch it. And instead, what did I do when I got home on Sunday? I watched Evo. Well, besides that, I watched Evo until I couldn't stay awake.
Until you were lying in bed and staring at the ceiling.
I was like lying in bed. I'm just like, I can't do. I made it to like loser semifinals in Smash Bros, and then I had to finish it the next day. Evo, man, so hype. Love those biggest Smash Bros tournament ever.
I wanted
Evo
to watch the
2019.
MK11 stuff, and then I was like, I'm never gonna play that game again. I played the campaign. There's no more game for me.
That's right,
there.
Tom Servo. I smashed until I was spent.
Gross.
And that's really it. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into the boys. If you had interest in it's like a good cross between like the series, like the adultness of Deadpool, but without the slapstickiness of it. It's like
gotcha.
It's like if you mix like Deadpool, the movies franchise, with Watchmen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could get down with that.
That's kind of where the tone we're at, but not quite as dark, gritty as Zack
Can
Snyder.
I ask you an important question?
Yeah.
Do they use the song "The Boys Are Back in Town"? Because if they do, I can't watch it.
I don't think I've heard that yet.
Okay, good. I think they would have on the first episode if they were going to. So. Bullet dodged.
Oh, I guess I should say the other popular plot point is there's a brand new, very young heroine that was accepted. She applied and she got the job to be part of the new super team. So you kind of see her for her young naive eyes of what being an outside of what this great entity is
So
Now that
she's us,
there,
basically.
you find out what it really is.
Okay.
You know, that
Yeah.
type of thing. I think you'll really like it. I think.
I'm gonna watch it. How many episodes?
I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
So, Tom Servo, this is streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, stay a while. Listen. And that's it, man.
That
That's all my
wraps it
stuff.
up. Wow.
That's gonna wrap up my What You Playing, and guess what? It's gonna wrap up the show too.
It does.
It is.
It do.
It's time. We're done.
It
I
is.
hope you enjoyed this Tuesday evening with us. I know I did. Sorry, we talked a lot about tacos and having sex with refried beans and
Cans of refried beans, okay,
my
not
gosh,
just
you know,
piles.
we went into places I never expected us to go,
I do that all the time.
but we did it. Is it time? Is it time where I say,
No, let's practice more Seth Rogen laughs. I don't have enough. I haven't smoked enough pot in my life.
you got to get that in there.
I know I can't get low enough.
You know, now the tuxedo's just fucked up.
Peter.
No, don't,
Well,
don't do that. Okay. All right, that's it.
And
Thank you to all of our patrons and our newest patron, Sean Capri. But special thanks to our arborist of awesomeness, Josh Brown, Kyle Heyman, Tyler Ryland, Tom Servo, and our executive of excellence, Edwin Callow. And please bow before the Crusaders of the Legion, Dan Anthony and Devin Tyus. If you want to join the Flux Legion on Patreon, please check out patreon.com/Fluxtaposed. We thank you all.
Or
Love you
don't.
all. Or don't. You could. Whatever. Playing us out tonight, we got some OC remix. I hope you enjoy it. This is a song that you can find on Fluxtaposed Radio Volume 6. It's from Sonic the Hedgehog. It's called Ocean View by DCT and Guitar Man. It's from the Labyrinth Zone. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, 1991, Sega Genesis. I hope you enjoy it. And that's it. This is Fluxtaposed. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.